Today I want to talk about the right shoulder. It is a massive topic when it comes to the golf swing, the trail shoulder. So many golfers believe that the right shoulder should not move forwards. The right shoulder should not move in that direction. Well, my friends, if your right shoulder doesn't move in the direction I just displayed on the screen, you are not going to be able to hit shots like that. If you believe that your right shoulder from the top of the backswing needs to go down, I promise you, you'll be hitting it fat forever. And when you get fed up of hitting the golf ball fat, what you then might do when you drop your right shoulder down is you then might thin it and top it. But not only that, you might start blasting the golf ball out to the right with zero angle of attack. You might hit so much little in the way of angle of attack, you might even hit up on it at 2.6. Yes, you'll get the path line from the inside out at 14 degrees, but that, my friends, is not going to help you, because if your club face is open to your path, yes, your club face is open to your path, that fourth box on the right-hand side, it means the ball is going to go to the right. So, at the top of the backswing, the direction that that right shoulder should move in is forwards. Yes, that right shoulder should move forwards. And when it moves forwards, it allows your arms to move around your body, hit down, and hit yourself a nice straight club path at 0.4, hit down at 4.6, and make your face to path closed at a degree. Now, if you are a seasoned good golf coacher, then you will have known that the grip is crucial in all of my coaching, as much as having good ingredients in a Mrs. Miggins pie. So once we've got ourselves a good grip after watching this video up here, we now need to understand what the right shoulder, the trail shoulder, needs to do in the golf swing. Now, many people's issues with their right shoulder, trail shoulder on the way down comes from setup. Now, for many people, golfers don't think about this golf swing being symmetrical, where we stand to the golf ball, the spine angle lent away from the target. This right shoulder is now lower than my left shoulder. As I make half a backswing, this right shoulder feels lower than this left shoulder from a face-on perspective, not from a down-the-line perspective. When the right hip is tucked inside and I've got some good rotation and my spine is away from the target. If my lower half has shifted off the golf ball and then my spine has tipped towards the target, which so many golfers have done over the years because they believe that they should shift their weight across, a bit like doing the jive bunny on the dance floor, they get their spine, I don't know what I'm talking about, the spine tipped towards the target, and now all of a sudden that right shoulder feels high. Now in the downswing, if the right shoulder was to move forwards, yes, you would have a bit of an issue because you'd be cutting across it like a good one and hitting some dirty wangers out to the right. Left at 9 degrees, down at 8 degrees, and face open to the path. So if you've got yourself a good setup from watching this video here, when you now get yourself in a good setup and you start to get some good leg action because you've watched this video up here, all of a sudden this spine angle tips a bit more away from the target. The right shoulder feels a little bit lower. Now as I start to move down, my right shoulder feeling like it needs to move in this direction is crucial in an opportunity to start to make this left hip move back on itself. Because when I have a spine angle that's tipped away from the target, as I make a downswing, I almost want to feel like, as my lead hip starts to tuck back inside, I continue to keep the lay down of my spine away from the target. But what that's going to feel like is my right shoulder can now start to sit up and not drop down. Because when you create poor shape in your posture from a face-on perspective in your backswing, you create a poor shape and not a good shape. The way your right shoulder needs to react and behave on the way down is simply making up the shortfall of your crap backswing, because you've probably got a crap setup and you grip the club poorly. But all of these things get brushed away because they're seen as boring, because they're seen as not important. But I tell you, if you grip it right, and if you stand to it right, all of a sudden, you'll start to give yourself the best possible chance to use your leg action in your backswing. You can use your right hip a bit more. You can all of a sudden get your spine tipped away from the target, which now makes you feel like that right shoulder can move forwards, which allows you to get your arms to drop down much later in your downswing, which gives you that angle of attack down that straight path and good face to path action. Because when we think about the golf swing down an angle here, the spine has gone from vertical to pointed towards the target, the golf ball. All of a sudden, when we go from a golf swing on this pitch, where when I pull the club, if the ball was at this level, and I was to swing the golf club on this pitch, look how my right shoulder is moving. I wouldn't hold my shoulder back. I wouldn't swing from down here. I wouldn't stop my grip moving forwards. I wouldn't move it down in this direction, because if I was to do that, I would swing and hit under the golf ball and hit it up into the sky. So when we think about the movement in the downswing on this pitch, that motion that I'm making with the grip is exactly the same as this motion that I'm making with the grip that allows me to move around the golf ball. At that point, I'm now going to increase the speed. Look at the path line. Face was a little bit closed on that one. Look at the path line. It was dead straight. The angle of attack was down. So when you recognize that this right shoulder in a downswing needs to feel like the right shoulder can come forwards, now I put myself into posture, now I strike the golf ball. It's a very, very simple motion on the way down, but it has to reflect a good grip and setup. So this downswing with the right shoulder move, as we get ourselves up to the top of the backswing, think about the grip and the shoulder moving together. At what point is that club face outside in? That right shoulder is moving forwards. What point is that club face outside in? What time did that club head ever get outside in? I moved the grip forwards, which now gave me some opportunity to load the shaft. Now I put pressure on the grip, which opened me up and got my left hip back, which gave me that opportunity to hit down and around. The minute you get that right shoulder sitting down in your downswing, you might be making up the shortfall of a poor grip at setup and a poor posture at setup. And that will influence your backswing, poor shape, which then means you have to compromise how you move on the way down. So why not just fix the ingredients that set up your backswing that gives you the best chance to move correctly in your downswing? It is that simple, my friends. And that way you don't go around in this common circle of trying to fix crap upon crap upon crap in an effort to somehow try and get this club in a spot that's going to get the golf ball going straight, and all of a sudden you're left with a top and a shank and a horrid shot. So get yourself a good grip, get that posture right at address, and start using that leg action, which really starts to get you a bit more set at the top. Now we can get you using your arms, we can get you using your legs, and that will then start to get you hitting the golf ball a little bit straighter towards your target. Simple stuff, folks. Let that right shoulder move forwards with the grip. It is crucial. If you can't do that, if you find that as a problem, that is not the reason why you can't hit the golf ball. You'll be looking elsewhere. Might be your grip, might be your posture, might be your backswing, but that grip and shoulder moving forwards in the downswing is absolutely crucial. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed that, do share a comment below, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Are you tired of paying too much for your premium leather golf gloves? Head over to gxgolfgloves.com. These are gloves tried and trusted by elite amateurs and tour players alike. Enter my code GOODCOACHING to receive 10% off your next order. Go try them out, you won't be disappointed.
That, my friends, is good coaching.